The menu of Japanese sci-fi anime runs the gamut from sweet to sour. And perhaps the best of those extremes are Astro Boy and Akira. In the 1960s, a manga artist named Osamu Tezuka gave birth to a series that changed the face of anime, Astro Boy. It's the story of a scientist who loses his son in a car accident, then creates a robot boy to take his place. Astro Boy is programmed for good behaviour, but he's no substitute for a child, and so the scientist sells him to the cruel ringmaster of a robot circus. When Astro Boy escapes the circus, he joins the fight for interplanetary goodness. Astro Boy was the first Japanese anime to play overseas. It has heart, it has action, it's Astro-rific.
This is Unit 375. We've got reports of biker gangs fighting near the intersection of...
It wasn't until years later, however, that an anime would score big at the box office. It was Katsuhiro Otomo's 1988 feature, Akira, and it was certainly no Astro Boy.
I'm coming!
Set in a post-apocalyptic Tokyo, Akira is about a juvenile delinquent who's arrested by the military and made an experimental subject in a secret government program to replicate Akira, the human bioweapon that destroyed Tokyo. Packed with hyperkinetic chase scenes, Akira turns even bleaker when our hero accidentally causes Tokyo to be wiped out yet again. Yes, it's a bit grim, but hey, just look at all that exhilarating destruction. So what does the post-apocalyptic future hold? Benevolent boy robots or total annihilation? Let's hope it's a little bit of both. Well, we're well into our sci-fi extravaganza, so I thought I'd take a moment out to give you some information about the technological advances in robotics in this country and the kind of robots they're currently working on in Japan. Essentially, they're full of electronical stuff, and they're very, very cool. If you'd like to know more, I'm sure that's possible. Here's some of the great stuff we've got coming up for you.
Japanorama.
Coming up, animator Oshi comes out of his shell. Say hello to your future robot masters. And Tokyo's top tranny in a sci-fi sex film. Who's the man? He's the man. Anime director Mamoru Oshii. Oshii's masterwork is Ghost in the Shell, set in the year 2029.
Her brain was hacked into through a data line. Foreign intelligence warned us about this. A hacker called the Puppet Master has begun to infiltrate terminals throughout our network.
The world is one huge database, and a renegade computer program is trying to transform into a living being.
What's with all the noise in your brain today?
Must be a loose wire.
Major Motoko turns detective when she discovers she's a mass-produced shell, and she must look for her ghost, or soul. Many claim this film, which was a hit in America, inspired The Matrix.
When Ghost in the Shell became #1 in America, someone put a newspaper cutting on the wall of our studio, but no one read it. The field of animation in Japan is very different from the American counterpart. No one really cares about how much we sell, the stuff like that. As long as we create things we want to create and do what we want to do, that's what we care about.
His fantasies encompass a world of alienated humans, swamped by technology, in a world greater than them.
Technology frightens me. though it is also very important to me. I sometimes want to be a computer myself, but at the same time, I really get frightened by it.
In the final scene of Ghost in the Shell, technology, in a sense, devours itself.
I find that scene really erotic. That's what eroticism is. If I say this, I might sound funny and might give you the wrong idea, but self-destruction is what I find erotic. I'm totally satisfied with that scene.
The king of anime is moving on. Oshii recently completed his first live-action film, Avalon. Avalon reverses the machine becomes human theme of Ghost in the Shell. In it, a video game fanatic devotes her life to reaching the highest level of a realistic battle game. When she gets there, she herself then becomes part of the game.
Avalon is a representation of my fantasy world. I'd love to live in a world like that. I employed everything that interests me in my life, such as dogs, computers, games, guns, tanks, and helicopters. There were 3 tanks used in the film. They went away on the 5th day of shooting. As they were taken away by a trailer, I felt like crying.
Oddly enough, a decidedly low-tech basset hound is the key image for this post-modern cyber extravaganza. The droopy doggy is Oshii's greatest passion, and he had to scour Poland, where Avalon was shot, to find a pooch for the film.
I see a lot of similarities between basset hounds and me. They are not in the mood for anything. All they think about is food. They are really relaxed and laid back. They are friendly and harmless, and live aimlessly. I love those attributes. I feel I'm a reincarnation of a basset hound. But perhaps I just want to be a basset hound. I've got mixed feelings about that.